Man, Luke got the poop end of the stick in this deal.
Yeah, just a little bit. Or is that because he...
Because Leia's living the dream.
Dude. Look at Leia, Hey, are you guys coming? You, Jerica, and Will, are you guys coming to my watch party right after? Will, Jerica? It'll be right after this. We're gonna jump and watch episode 2. So. Tune in. That a boy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a Kenobi-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And we are back with the most anticipated Star Wars project, probably in the Disney era. Obi-Wan Kenobi series, episode 1, which is entitled Part 1. I was kind of, that's like the only bad thing about the whole thing is I thought there was going to be a title because like Mando was like, okay, what's the title going to be? And then for Boba Fett, it was like these longer titles. I was like, oh man, what are they going to do for titles? Part 1. Like, oh,
Part 2.
Part 2, which I have not. Now we should say.
Oh, yes.
Everyone listening, we've only watched the first episode as of recording this because we didn't want to talk about episode 1 being influenced by episode 2 already. So it'd be 2 hours. So we're going to have 2 separate recordings and so episodes. And so we only know what happened in episode 1. So people in the chat, if someone comes in and starts spoiling second episode, I don't know if anyone in the chat's seen episode 2, but if some spammer comes in,
it sucks.
Spam the comment so that we don't see any, or so Drew doesn't see anything.
That's literally why I was trying to make Will a mod so he could catch it and like delete it now, and I can't do it. So yes. So Ed, if we have any predictions, they are still our predictions. So you guys know.
So because we know that
you still heard it here first because we haven't watched episode 2.
Yeah, and so we know that every time we do like episode breakdowns, we get a big influx of new listeners that just come our way. And so welcome if you're a new listener. This is episode 142 of our podcast so far, so you have a lot to catch up on, but we hope that our breakdowns of all these episodes for the Kenobi series will keep you intrigued because it's going to be a lot of fun. But so what we normally do at the beginning of like a series or sometimes for individual episodes, and even for like, spur of the moment trailers that drop, we always do like, how did it happen? Like, how did you start out, like hear about it or whatever? So we have
where were you?
So where were you? So we have a little story about this first episode.
True.
So, originally, the show was supposed to be released at 3 a.m. our time zone, which is Central Standard Time. I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go to bed early, wake up early, and try and watch it twice before I go to work. So I get ready for bed. I'm getting ready. I took my shower. I'm ready to go. I'm literally like 5 minutes away before going to bed. And I'm going to check Discord one last time. And MVP Jerica posts on there, they changed the release date. It's going to be at 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. I'm like, that's 45 minutes away. And so, like, I was excited. They're doing it 4 hours early, blah, blah, blah. And then Will confirmed with, like, tweets from, like, the official Obi-Wan Kenobi Twitter or whatever. And so I was like, all right, dang, I'm just going to stay up and watch it because it's going to end up ending by the time I normally go to bed, which is, like, midnight usually. So I was like, this works out perfect. And so I posted on Facebook, breaking news, Obi-Wan Kenobi is premiering 4 hours early. Episodes 1 and 2 drop at 11 p.m. tonight. And then Drew comments on Facebook.
Yeah, I was like browsing first Facebook. I was like, Jeremiah, are you drunk? Because you don't drink, but are you drunk? I was like, what are you talking about? This isn't real life.
And so Drew's like, it does? I'm like, Bro, join the Discord. Jericho for the win. The official tweet from the show. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and then I
so
went instantly, like when you said join the Discord, like you scrub. But I went to what was it? I went to Instagram and then I saw like it was the first thing on our Instagram feed was Star Wars and it was like Star Wars / Obi-Wan page and they
right.
announced that. And I was like, what the heck? All right. And yes, I am still ranked 33 in our Discord, okay? So y'all
You
don't
keep
hey,
going down. What are you talking
I'm
about?
still 33 though. I'm still the top
But
100.
so yeah, so that was like at like 10:15 last night when
Yeah.
Jericho or when I saw Jericho's post. And so then uh Jericho, Will, and I jumped in the video chat on Discord
Oh yeah.
for like a half hour waiting for just talking.
Dang it! You should have invited me. I didn't. Yeah, I should join the Discord. My bad, guys. If
And
you haven't
so
joined the Discord, go check it out.
and then it was kind of funny because like we were waiting for 11 o'clock, and like Jericho's like, do we gotta like refresh it, or is it gonna like just like pop up? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna like refresh it. So it's 11:55
Mm-hmm.
or
Or
10:55,
10:55.
and Will's like, there it is. It's out. They already posted it. I'm like, it is.
Yeah.
And I saw it. And I'm like, all right, see you guys. And I closed the video
Yeah,
call.
that's what Jericho decided. He's like, I love
I'm
that
out.
Jeremiah was talking with us. And all of a sudden, he disappeared.
I'm like, sorry guys, I'm out. I gotta watch it. Bye. And I clicked out, and then I watched it. So that's how. And then Drew stayed up and did the watch party.
Yeah, because I was like in bed and I was like, all right, my wife's almost asleep. My son's asleep. Should I sneak out and go do this watch party? And I was thinking, and then I was like, screw it. And I went Discord and I was like, all right, watch party tonight. We're doing it tonight. Because if I didn't, then I would have to go to work all day
Yeah.
because I can't wake up and try to record at 3 in the morning with
Right.
an
A
8-month-old baby
sleeping.
sleeping upstairs. And I mean, if you watch the watch party, I'm still kind of whispering. So like it's not like the most dramatic, but I did my best, guys. So but yeah, so I was like, yeah, in bed browsing through Facebook and then I saw Jeremiah's thing and I was like, this boy's on drugs. Like, I don't know what's wrong with him. And then I went on Instagram and he's not on drugs. And I should have stayed on Instagram instead of looked up. But so then I was like messaging people because I was like talking to someone that was going to do their own watch party for their own YouTube channel. And I was like, they planned it for 3 a.m. They already had like a group of people that were going to do it. And I wrote to her, I was like, hey, just so you know, this is like in an hour. And then she's like, what? And then she's like spamming all the people. And she's like, they all are still asleep. They're not waking up. So unfortunately, she wasn't able to do her watch party because her people never woke up
That's
in
funny.
time. But it was whatever. But like, yeah, it was still really fun watch party. And I wish they were all this early for us because I could do a watch party every
I
single
I wonder if they're gonna do that.
debut.
Like now, like it'd be 11 o'clock our time, like on
Mm-hmm.
Wednesdays, or
10:55.
Tuesdays. It'd be Tuesday nights
Yeah.
at 11. So that'd be cool if they would do
I
that,
I wish, but
but hey,
I
probably
think the
not.
reason why they did it was because they premiered it at Celebration at
They
that
did.
time. Yeah, they had like a watch party at Celebration and like a premiere show at Celebration. So my thought was like, I think they did it like that because they didn't want people to start spoiling or potentially like screenshotting it and like putting, you know what I mean, like on their phones or whatever and like
Or
sharing it to the world.
also, they know that since everyone's at Star Wars Celebration, they're not going to be able to watch on a good TV. They're going to have to watch on their laptop or their phone.
Yeah, so they
So they said
literally
like,
had like I think a couple theaters right around there were premiering it that
oh,
night
that's
for
cool.
people, so people were able to watch it in the
That's
movie
cool.
theater and stuff, which was really cool
Ooh,
experience. I
oh,
bet. I bet you
dang
that was
man,
dope, bro.
dang bro.
Yeah, we AMC needs to figure that out with like.
AMC is janky. It's all about Marcus.
Tr-
Sorry.
okay, well, I'm
Marcus
just
is
saying.
the
Either
best.
way, I don't care, but some theater needs to work with
Hey,
Disney so they can premiere shows like this,
hey,
so we
Marcus
can
guy,
watch
the
this.
guy, that president guy that always does like the cheesy openings at the beginning of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
movies
yeah.
at Marcus Theater. If you're listening, give us a hookup. Empire Radio, the Star Wars podcast. We'd
Yes,
love to collab. But
that'd be dope.
anyway, all right, we've babbled too long. Everyone's waiting for our breakdown of this episode. And like always, we give our overall thoughts of the episode. Drew, I didn't watch your watch party. Sorry,
Yeah, you
but
could have. You could have done it with me.
no.
Give the fans what they
I need
want,
to
but Jeremiah likes to
focus,
lock in.
lock in, take notes. So,
Yeah.
Drew, I'll let you go first. What are your overall thoughts of part one?
I loved it. I loved the visual of it. I thought the storytelling was great. I thought the intro was a little too long.
Oh, that recap.
The recap was a little long. Like we didn't need to see little Annie that much. So the recap was like a little long. But besides the recap, I like it's really cool. I thought it was really well done. And especially if this is your introduction to Star Wars, it's perfect for you, right? But for me, I was like, okay, let's go. We don't need to see this. But I mean, it was good. It was fun. It was nice. And then the Order 66 part was amazing. I almost started crying. Like it was so good. I was like, oh, we're killing younglings. Let's go. Like it was so cool. And so yeah, that whole part was super cool. And yeah, overall I thought it was amazing. Right now, I'm in love with this show. The only thing is I don't and I my only gripe is I'm not loving the third sister's acting.
Oh,
I don't think she's the best actor. And I think she's a little dramatic and a little more intense. Granted, it seems like that's what they want us to view her as. Like she's
right.
supposed to be like super dramatic and intense and we're not supposed to like her. But it's like to the point where I'm like, it's a little too much. Like it's but the violence is pretty cool. Like that girl lost her hand. It was pretty intense. The music, Jericho, you're right. The music was amazing. John Favreau killed it, or
John Favreau.
not John Favreau, but
John Williams
John
wrote the
Williams.
main
Yes.
theme, and so then that theme was given to the actual composer for the
Oh,
show.
okay.
So, like, there's like the opening. So they actually performed the
Yeah,
opening thing live, and
at
John Williams conducted it. And so,
celebration.
like, he wrote that, I think, that whole like piece. But then
Mm-hmm.
obviously the other composer is going to take that theme and put it in the rest of the music. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Overall, I have some predictions that we're not gonna say quite yet. And not really prediction, but theories kind of stuff, and we don't know yet considering we haven't watched episode 2. But yeah, so overall I really liked it, really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to watch episode 2 after this podcast.
All right. So my overall thoughts is this episode was incredible.
Good. Thank
It
you.
was perfect and everything. Like one, I was getting already a little emotional just watching the recap. I'm like, why am I getting this is a recap? I don't
Yeah.
I and like the Order 66 thing, like I wasn't so I think I assumed that we were going to get some kind of Order 66 thing eventually in the show, like in a flashback or something.
Hmm.
But I didn't think it was going to be like this. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, because at first I was like, okay, where is this? Is this on Dayu, like this new planet that we were told of that's in the trailers and stuff?
Hmm.
And then we see the helmets on the kids, which are like the Padawan helmet things.
Yep.
And I'm like, immediately knew this is Order 66 because at night and it was insane. Like I got up off my seat. I was like up on because I have like my couch and then I have like a ottoman
Hmm.
thing, and I was up like kneeling on
You
my
were like
ottoman,
in front.
like watching this, and I was almost like I was like a little misty eyed watching this because it was so intense. Like the Jedi Master just protecting the Padawans, like she was a boss, even though she got taken down, obviously, but.
Yeah.
But then, like, I just think like the rest of the show was very good in pacing and how they went back and forth between Alderaan and Tatooine and
Hmm.
um, making like showing like the writing of the episode was so great that it everything made sense and it came together at the end, and it was obviously it's ends on like a cliffhanger like it's supposed to, but like I felt like it was a very complete episode. Like there
Yeah.
wasn't anything lacking, and so and I was just the whole episode I was just amazed by it, and um, I I think so. I think when we had our original, it was either the original trailer breakdown, like the teaser trailer, or it was something maybe when we talked about like concept art or something that was released before that trailer, like months ago. And
Hmm.
we did talk about what would cause Obi-Wan to leave Tatooine, and we did talk about maybe something was up with Leia because we knew that Jimmy Smits is the actor for Bail Organa. Like we knew
Yeah.
that he was in the show, so I'm like, oh, if he's in the show, then we're gonna get Leia or something. So I was like, maybe that's the conflict, and we were right. Like we're not the only ones that said that, but
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a great way. Like I don't know, I just thought this episode was super perfect from start to finish. So
Yeah. I the the big, like, I don't want to talk about too much until we get to that part, but the whole Leia concept, some people are hating on it.
really,
Yeah, because it breaks canon.
how?
I'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. But some people believe it breaks canon. I just want to tell you, it does not, and it doesn't really. Haters are gonna hate. People are haters. Yes, Jericho. People are haters. It doesn't make any sense to me. I didn't see anything in this that really broke canon in any way. Um. So I don't know, but I love the concept of Leia and the actor, her
This girl,
actor, she was
who
a
this is like the perfect casting. Like
dude.
definitely
She,
looks like that could be a
dude,
kid. Carrie,
so
I want to
good.
like. I need. Okay, I should have probably Googled Carrie Fisher as like 10-year-old kid to see if there's any pictures of her childhood. Like
Yeah, I wonder if there is.
it's pretty like
Dude, she's so good, and or honestly, you can even just Google Carrie Fisher's daughter as 10-year-old kid. That probably will come up.
maybe
But I wonder,
or or
like,
or look up Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman when they were kids and to see if there's any
yeah,
similarity.
yeah.
um,
So I don't know.
but
The actor, she's amazing. Like
like honestly,
she
okay.
killed it as a little kid. Her
So
sassiness, I'm like, dude,
oh,
yeah,
they got that.
perfect,
They got that
perfect.
perfect. But
Like,
like, I wonder. Okay, so they can't have a Princess Leia show where she's like a teenager because like she's not in danger other than like this. But like, they can't make
yeah,
an action show with about Leia. But like, if they did, like,
yeah,
uh, in a few years when this girl's like 13, 14 years old, like this would be made. Like she'd be perfect actress. Like people were originally saying like years ago, uh, what's the chick's name from Stranger Things? Billy Bobby
Billy,
Brown.
yeah, Billy Bob Brown, yeah.
Yeah, like they thought that she could be cast as
Dude,
teenage
I was
Leia,
gonna say, like,
but
I was
this is
literally
great.
gonna say, Jeremiah, like, there's two things I want to mention. One, Stranger Things hype right now is not a thing, which is kind of crazy to me because this could, like,
It's out right now, and I haven't even watched anything.
they should have picked a different week. Like, I just want to be real. Like, Kenobi celebration, if you go anywhere on any platform right now, that's all you will see is Star Wars stuff. So it's like, I don't know. They should have just picked the next week. But I was gonna say though, Jeremiah, like, the Leia, like, the way they picked that child is the same way in my son they picked Elle. Like, such a good young actor, and it's only gonna get crazier from here. Like, she's gonna do so much stuff, and she's so good. And I wonder if we're gonna see Luke at all besides that one part now. Like, I don't.
We better, but
Yeah, I don't know, but
anyway,
yeah.
we got a lot to talk about. So let's jump in scene by scene. So we we can go a little bit more detail about Order 66.
Oh
Just like
yes,
we
let's,
kind of discussed it.
please.
So a master is training Padawans, and then the clones come in and
Hmm.
they start attacking, and then
So
the
real quick,
master.
You're
Yes.
going too fast. So, the first Padawan we see, people are saying that that is the third sister.
Well, I was gonna get to that. Come on,
Oh,
bro.
well, that's right away. That's before we see the clone.
Well, I didn't notice until like
Oh, okay.
after the master was killed when the group
Mm.
went around and I saw, okay, there's a black girl. So like one, I tried to see who was talking, like which kid was talking. I couldn't figure out who was talking. Like when say, oh, what are we gonna do? We gotta run or whatever. Like I don't know. I had subtitles on and I'm like, I still couldn't figure it out. But I'm
Also,
trying to
it's
think
for me. It was
how,
kind of weird that there was no aliens in that group. That was like
bro.
something
They're
I
not gonna
noticed.
spend like $10,000 to put makeup
Uh,
on one kid for like 3 seconds. Like they're not gonna do that. But um, I'm trying to think how old the third sister is because okay, so the actress's name is Moses Ingram. Let's see how old she is in real life.
well,
She's 29. So this
and if she
is
was
so she
12
definitely
there,
wasn't 19 in that thing. So I felt like maybe she's like 12 or something. So she could be early 20s in
yeah,
the show
early
maybe. Like
20s.
she could maybe pull that off.
Because that was 10 years later after Order 66. So then, if she was 12, she'd be 22. She looks
Right.
22. I think it fits. And I think when we first saw them, like that, it literally just zoomed in on her and then panned out.
Because it,
So
it zoomed in on she was in the center of the kids when they were around their master's dead body and they ran
that
like
too,
so like she was right in the center and it kind of
yeah,
made it look like she was the focal point. So I didn't
but
notice
it
that
wasn't
till the
even.
second time I
But
watched.
even when you watch them, like the first scene, when they pan to show all of them, the first one is her. It shows her and it kind of sits there a little bit, and then it pans out and then it shows all the other ones. So it like there's two times in this scene that it kind of highlights her a little bit. So I don't know. I'm down for that theory. I think it's real. I think it
No,
makes sense why she would hate Kenobi so much,
why?
because if she gets the feeling that, well, one, she might see Anakin kill, right?
Right.
And those are Anakin's troopers, so she could get the concept of like Anakin betrayed me, and Obi-Wan could have too, and like, and then she like Anakin or Vader kind of turned her over, and then she wants to hunt Obi-Wan because Vader wants it or whatever. But like, I don't know. It would make sense why she could hate Obi-Wan because of what happened to her, and he wasn't there to help her.
I don't know.
You
Maybe
don't think
kind
that
of.
makes
I
sense?
don't know because later on in the episode it's like what is your like what do you get out of like he's the fifth brother says capture Kenobi, so she doesn't want to kill him. So like her goal is to capture him. So like he's like, what do you get out of this? And she says, what I am owed. So like, what does that mean exactly? We don't know yet, as far as episode one. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised that Padawan is this girl, and I want to know more about like how like they choose Jedi to not kill and then turn them into Inquisitors. Like,
Which ones they pick? I guess it depends on their
because
skill.
and then like if she survives the temple, like why didn't the clones kill her? Was she just so much? Did she like tap into the dark side because she was just angry and then she just went crazy and killed all the clones and like,
Or she was willing to surrender right away.
but like I don't know. So we don't know. It's all speculation. I'm sure we'll get details as episodes progress. Now, okay, so we were outside the building when the clones first started attacking. They went inside. Now, right when they go into the hallway, I saw the blue lightsaber of someone, 30 feet back in the hallway. I thought that was Anakin right away. Like I thought,
Me
boom,
too.
that's Anakin. And I was like, no, that guy's got jacked and he's dead now. But like,
Gosh, dude, if they would have had Anakin,
I even like when the kids were running away on that platform.
if he
like
would
when
have been walking or like
walking with like clones behind him and he's just charging,
chasing them.
like I would have thought that was crazy, but I
I
feel
probably would have
like
cried, dude.
if we see if the third sister is that girl, I feel like we will get a flashback to that Order 66 scene,
Oh,
and I think we'll see Anakin
I
in
pray
that
that
scene.
it is her. I pray that it is her because I want to see more Order 66.
I know it's like you can't overdo Order 66. Like they could just do a show like of shorts of like 15-minute shorts of like Jedi being killed. I'm like, this is the best thing ever.
People would be like, "That's all I care." Like, not that that's all I care about, but that's all I want right now.
So, um, yes, I think we'll see that flashback if this is that girl. And what I thought was interesting, now you don't. When I first watched, because I watched every episode twice. I watch it without subtitles the first time, just so I don't get spoiled reading something before it's revealed. And then second time, I watch with spoilers just so I catch everything.
Mm-hmm.
So at the first time, when the kids are running off after the Master's Guild, you hear Palpatine saying "Execute Order 66" over again. I'm like, okay, this is just kind of like a dream state, kind of like where it's just kind of like, yes, this is Palpatine's plan, and that wasn't actually a thing. But when you watch it with subtitles, it says from speakers
Yeah,
that this is being announced. I'm like, I don't know. I thought it was interesting that the Emperor or slash Palpatine had like hacked these speakers or like installed speakers for his, so he
that's a
could
good
do
point.
this. Like
Well, that's a
forethought,
good point. Like, how was he able to?
because I can just picture like there's some like troopers, clone troopers at the temple that just have like maybe have some quarters or something where they can like sleep or something, and like they wake up during Order 66, like, oh, what's going on? And they get up and then they walk
They hear
outside,
it?
see everyone's killing, and then they hear
They
the
get
speakers go
triggered
off.
like robots.
Yeah, like I thought, I don't know, that
Yeah.
seems kind of, it wouldn't be funny, but I wonder if there's something like that. If that was 4 troopers
Mm-hmm.
that were at the temple that may not have gotten a hollow call or whatever, but
I wish they would have done part of that flashback, or not the flashback, like that intro thing. I would have loved it if they would have somehow were able to tie in Anakin and Ahsoka's relationship within like that, like
I was wondering if they were going to do flashes to
Clone Wars
Clone
too.
War scenes,
Yeah, that
but I
would have been
feel
so
like, but it
cool.
would have been kind
But
of
then it would
weird.
have been
But
way longer too.
yeah, it was like a
And then
4-minute thing, dude.
yeah, and it would have been kind of weird to see like a cartoon, then non-cartoon, then cartoon.
Right.
But
But yes, so that's the first like minute of the show. So
good lord.
let's continue on by the scene. So the next one is the Inquisitors arrive on Tatooine, and led by the Grand Inquisitor. Now, I thought when we did a trailer breakdown
Mm-hmm.
that there was 4 Inquisitors that were on Tatooine, but there's only 3 here, right?
Yes, there's only 3.
So
That other girl, she's on the other planet.
no, but I remember we counted 4 Inquisitors, including the
Maybe?
Grand Inquisitor, in the cafe. So like, I have to go back and look at that original. I think it was the original trailer,
Mm-hmm.
but like I thought there was 4 of them in that scene, but I don't know. So I didn't notice that till later, but I was just wondering if that was the case. But I really love this scene with the Grand Inquisitor talking to the cafe
Yeah,
owner
the
bartender.
bartender. Question, Jeremiah, for you.
Yes,
What was
because
your overall thoughts of the Grand Inquisitor once you saw him? Like,
I
did
still
it
think
still
he looks
bother you a
janky.
lot?
I still think he looks janky, but like I'm
Was it a little better though?
no, because he looks exactly the same as in the trailer. So
I felt
like,
like it. Like me and Jericho were talking, and like in the chat when I was watching it, I was like, it doesn't look as bad.
it's too round. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If they just made his head a bigger forehead, like another like a forehead, but like another 4 for
Mhm.
like 8 head, like it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Now I did notice like we get like a side view of him, like he has those ear
Hmm.
things on. Like I remember that from Rebels, and so like I was like, okay, they got the ears right. But
Yeah.
so he just seems like, I understand that Rebels has a certain artistic style, and everyone is very
Everyone's
slender.
really slender and
So like,
tall.
but he's kind of looks like George Costanza from Seinfeld. Like he's just
Yeah.
a little short and stocky, kind of in a sense. It's like I'm gonna get used to it. It's just I still think it's looks
The
not
fifth brother
correct.
looks really good.
I don't know. I feel like he looks so much smaller than in Rebels. In Rebels,
He's jacked.
he's jacked, and I feel like he's super tall. And here, he's just kind of like an average height. And I need to compare the voices too, because I don't remember the voices that much. Like,
Yeah.
so I wonder how close the voice is. But
But I
the,
mean, but also you gotta. It is the fact that Rebels is they're so dramatic by the way they look. You know.
right,
I mean, if you even look at Ahsoka in Rebels, her things are super super long. So I don't know. It didn't bother me as much actually watching it, and their outfits look fire. Their outfits look so good. But yeah,
I don't know. There's black costumes. Like, I don't
well,
know.
they for me they
I
reminded
feel
me
well.
of
I
like
do feel like there's gonna be a lot more cosplays of Inquisitors now.
oh dude, I would love like I love the fifth brother's outfit with like the
The
lightsaber
hat,
in the back like that. It looks so sick, and the hat, I think it looks freaking dope. I would
yeah.
totally crossplay as him. That'd be sick.
But yes, the cafe scene was great because it takes a lot of the lines from the original trailer about
Hmm.
how their a Jedi's compassion leads a trail or whatever it is, and it kind of expands upon that idea. And something that they said here and at the end of the episode, something like Jedi hunt themselves.
Hmm.
And I thought that is a very interesting like theme that they're gonna have. That it's the Jedi's fault if they get found. And I don't know. I really like that line, and I hope they play it or not play it, say it more throughout the show. Because I think that's just an interesting theme. Like that's the theme. That's like the I don't know, like the motto or not the motto, but like the whatever. You know what I mean? Of the
Yeah,
Inquisitors, like whatever their catchphrases or whatever you want to call
it's
it.
like this is their way.
This is their way. The Jedi hunt themselves. So I thought I really liked that,
So
and
I like the interaction, and then but there's a couple things that did kind of take me out of it a little bit in this scene, and it's when the Jedi stopped the knife, instead of holding it, why wouldn't he just throw it so like it missed him instead of holding it there like someone in this room is using the Force to hold the blade right there.
um,
You know what I mean? Like why wouldn't he just like hold it for a second and then drop it?
one he's just a he was definitely like a young
Pretty.
Padawan, so like, he's not doesn't have the
He's not.
wisdom.
Yeah. And then
Also,
when he ran away, and he just did the awning, and that somehow stopped the Inquisitors to walk
uh,
around. Like I was like,
okay, the Grand Inquisitor stopped the other two from chasing him, which I'm kind of confused on why he did that. Um, but
well,
I don't
no,
know.
the fifth
Maybe,
brother kept going after him, and then he started talking to the third, and that because she was too intense because she tried to cut him in half.
but like, why didn't he? But he stopped her from killing him. So obviously, like he let him go for a reason, and I'm kind of confused. I gotta go rewatch that scene when what he says to them, but um,
I I don't know if he let her go for a reason because I'm watching it right now. It doesn't seem like he let her go for a reason. It's more the fact that he didn't pursue that Jedi anymore because of he needs to teach the third sister a lesson because she doesn't care. She only wants Kenobi. She thinks all these little Jedi chases are just a waste of her time. She doesn't they don't matter. She just cuts someone in half so that she can go back and try to find Kenobi or figure out how that's more important to her. So like they're not on this planet looking for Kenobi. They're on this planet
right,
looking for him.
right, and so
And so like in her mindset, she's just like, this is just a waste of my time. And she's just too intense. And I think sometimes because she's too intense, her acting comes off a little bit too intense for me. But it at the same time, it does a good job about making me not like her as like character. So I guess it kind of works.
Yeah. So I don't know. I still think it was cool when the Grand Inquisitor stopped her saber
Well,
blade,
I thought that was cool. I just didn't
and then
like how
just with like the twitch of his hand,
Mhm.
she goes flying across the room, kind of.
Yeah.
And so, um, I don't know. I like that whole scene, and but he does say something like, you know, you had this obsession with trying to find Kenobi. What does he say? He's something like he's lost, or like he's never gonna be found, or
hmm
something like that. It's kind of like how everyone has given up on trying to find Kenobi, which is interesting because he would be like him and Yoda would be the only confirmed non-killed Jedi Council members. So like those are like the two potentially the two most powerful
Yeah.
Jedi left, and they gave up. Like I want to know more about that. But
Because their dialogue is he says that you're too reckless, and she said I don't want to waste my time with what did she say hunting. Pretty much, she don't want to waste her time hunting these people
yeah,
because they're not worth it. But
right,
then he's like, well, these are all we have left
right.
because they already killed all the really good Jedi's, so they have to go hunt these newbies essentially. And then she knows that Kenobi's out there. But how does she know that Kenobi's out there besides just the fact that they don't have the body, and besides the fact that he left Anakin to die?
I don't know. I think it's just because there was no confirmed death.
Mm-hmm.
Like she wants, and then because she has some kind of gripe with Kenobi that precedes. It's like she has a reason specifically. More, I
Yeah,
think, is because like she's like, if I capture him, I'll get what I am owed, and so there's something a, a motivation that she has that
something
we
happened, but
something happened and we don't know exactly.
it makes me really believe that she was a Padawan.
Well, I think all the Inquisitors were Padawans or
You
Jedi.
think that the Grand Inquisitor was a Padawan? I feel like he was
No,
just like
he
he was a
no he
Force
was
user that was found.
he was a Temple guard.
Oh, was he? Is that
Yeah,
confirmed?
yeah. He was a
Oh, I
Temple
didn't know that.
guard
How did I not know
in
that?
the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, I believe. And so,
Damn, what a beast.
and I don't know. I feel like I don't know. We've David in the Discord. We've talked. I talked to him about it, Mike, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think he was like one of the first to be uh, turned into Inquisitor after Order 66. So, like it might have been
Mm,
he was already being persuaded by Palpatine or something early on, recruited by Palpatine earlier or something,
gotcha.
and he was just kind of waiting. I can't remember exactly, but I believe he was a Temple guard. That's why, like in Rebels, when in season 2, when Kanan has that vision, he has to fight the Temple guard to
hmm
like try and protect Ezra, like because he wants the Temple guard wants to kill Ezra because he's
hmm
turning to the dark side. He's fighting as a Temple guard, and then after the fight's over, he takes off his helmet. He's like, "I was once what is his line? You are what I once was, a knight of the Jedi Order." And he turns around and it's the Grand Inquisitor. So like he was.
Oh,
So I think he's just took his form as a temple guard
that makes
for that
sense.
vision. But yes. So I think, and then like even like in Jedi Fallen Order, with the various Inquisitors in there, they
hmm
were all Jedi. Like Trilla, the main villain, she was a Padawan, and Ser, like kind of like Cal's mentor, she was a
hmm
Jedi too. So,
It makes sense. Yeah.
but yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe we'll get
We're
more
12 minutes
flashbacks
into this movie, though.
but yes. So then after that scene, it goes to the desert, and we get introduced to a new sand monster on Tatooine. It's like a
A
sand stingray shark
whale
thing.
thing.
Like
It kind of
At first
reminds
I
me of
thought
like
it
a
was like,
giant stingray slash whale.
yeah. So I thought at first I thought it was a crate dragon, but I was like, no, this
Yeah,
doesn't look
me
like
too. From like that first angle that we saw of it, I
right.
was like, "What? What
I
is
I
it?"
would say that of all the CGI in the show,
Hmm.
like that scene from that distance, it kind of looked kind of janky. I
Really,
thought it was very it lacked detail. It was kind of very
it kind of reminded me of when we first saw the that when they was doing the pod race. It kind of reminded me of that, like that view of the desert, kind of
what do you do? What?
when they're doing the pod race in episode 1. It kind of had that jankiness to me.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
But yes, so we go to this, and there's like a camp parked up right against the body, the
Hmm.
carcass, and they're just harvesting the meat from this thing. And so we see that Kenobi is harvesting this meat. I'm like, how is this meat lasting this long in the hot desert sun? Because like they go back to like 3 times, like 3 different days or something, where he's cutting
Oh,
stuff.
bro, they've been there for a hot minute, and they're salting it. So maybe it's
Are they salting it?
yeah. I
Okay,
just watched it. They're salting at the end after they
okay,
cut it. Yeah, I
but
don't know.
yeah.
I
So
guess when you're
Kenobi,
in the desert, it's slim pickings. You don't really.
right, and Kenobi he steals meat. He just hides that meat. He's not supposed to be doing that. So,
Yep.
but he's just a butcher cutting up some sand whale fish
Yep.
thing.
Jeremiah right there.
No, and
So the whole chat said that last night in the watch party. Like Jeremiah right there. There he is. Hard working.
but yes. So and then we have some corrupt boss guy that
Hmm.
isn't paying people full wages or something. But I'm kind of hoping that guy at some point gets eaten by like a crate dragon or something.
Dang, GG. Well, I don't think we'll see him again, considering
Probably.
Kenobi left.
Well, he has to come back eventually. What is he gonna do? He still needs to make some money. So
Yeah. So this is I don't know if a lot of people know, but Fortnite has a Kenobi skin that dropped yesterday or on
yeah,
Thursday, and it's yeah, yesterday, and it's like Kenobi's sweet outfit with his backpack and stuff, and then his pickaxe is that little knife. And
oh,
yesterday
that's
when I
cool.
was playing, I was like, why is it not a lightsaber or something? Like this is such a lame pickaxe, and now it makes complete sense to me. But
Right.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Um, but yes, and then after he leaves his shift, gets on. He goes back to the town on a I guess train thing, and he
That
goes in.
bus, it was a bus, remember?
Definitely a train. A bus is more has a roof.
We had this conversation. I think you were telling me it was a bus,
I never was. I wouldn't say it was a bus at all.
or maybe it was Andrew.
It's probably that's definitely an Andrew thing. But
But
he goes back to town. He gets his Eope, I believe they're called,
yep,
and they go back to his cave. And we see a little.
freaking llama with hair.
No, that's not what I was gonna say. I was say when he
Oh,
gets to his
because
home,
that
uh,
bothered me.
the droid, like a droid little scanner, pops up out of this sand.
Yes.
I'm like, hey, why? That's just weird. Like I didn't understand that, and now we find out
Mhm.
later why. But okay,
Yes.
whatever. And then he goes in to his little cave thing. Blah blah blah.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, this is a cool little man cave.
Yeah, pretty bougie.
But because he has a house like in A New Hope, so
Yes.
he upgrade. He got some money somewhere and
Well,
bought
I
himself a
think he
house.
moves
Or
farther away from the homestead too.
I don't know. Is it imply that this cave is because this cave is not right at the homestead? Because
No, but where he's looking out at the homestead is not part of the cave.
no, because we see him arrive on the it's a different scene, and he rides the Eope to another like rock structure. He
Oh,
climbs up and watches. So I think like now I gotta go watch A New Hope again and see like is there like a structure, like a rock structure hill area right by.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, before we get to that, he's just sitting there hanging out in a
Making
Jawa.
food. It was super cool.
Oh yeah, that so
That
it
was
was
dope.
it was like Ray's portion bread in
Yeah.
Force Awakens, where you just add water and it turns into a thing, and this one just turns into a stew.
It
I'm
was
like,
so cool. I was like, dang, that looks fire.
dang. So it probably tastes like Yoda's stew.
Kind of
Probably
kind of looked
gross,
like Yoda's stew.
but yeah. And then Jawa shows up
Mm-hmm.
and he found a toy ship that Kenobi was looking for, and that toy ship, I believe, is the same toy ship that Luke is playing with when he is at the homestead in Episode 4. So,
Mm-hmm.
which we find out that he doesn't get that toy right away; he gets it later on. So I wonder how Uncle Owen has a change of heart. I'm assuming somehow Kenobi
It,
saves Luke's life or something, and he's like, "Okay, fine, you can give him the toy or something." But
yeah, we'll find out. But yeah,
yep,
I thought it was really funny. And then he was like, "Oh, I need this part," and then the Jawa was like, "Oh, I have it," but it's something that he stole from last time he was there. And he's like, "Hey, when you steal my parts, at least clean them."
like cleaning costs extra.
Yeah.
But but in the same scene, he tries to sell him a belt, and he
Mm-hmm.
says he found it on an old scrapped Jedi ship.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that ship is the other Jedi's ship that crashed, because it says something like the Inquisitors chased him or something. And
Oh,
so
really?
I think that's the other Jedi's ship that crash landed on Tatooine, because Obi-Wan didn't crash land, like as far as we know, like
Mm-hmm.
because he would have just gone there, landed, and then went to the
Yeah, yeah,
homestead
that wouldn't
and
make
stuff.
sense.
So I think that's must have been the ship of that the other guy, and he just had a Jedi belt, a Force belt, whatever you want to call it. And so I don't know. I thought that was just a little interesting things, like how did this other Jedi get to this planet? And well, it seems like the
Mm-hmm.
Inquisitors were chasing him for a while. And he crash landed on this planet, and that's why they're.
Now, the thing that bothered me was that this Jawa wasn't that hairy that we could tell.
That is true, but there's just that one scene
This is
in
that one
Boba
time that
that we
now
get
that
to
we
see
know
the
that they're hairy,
furry.
we saw
They
how hairy they were.
definitely gorillas underneath those
Yep, little
capes.
monkeys.
But yeah, so the Jawa leaves then, and then we have a dream sequence of when Kenobi, he's just thinking about all the crap that went down and all that jazz, the nightmare, and he wakes up.
PTSD for sure.
He wakes up in the middle of the night and cries out to Qui-Gon, like, Qui-Gon, are you there? Type of thing. And I didn't know. I was like, where? Cause we all think it's gonna happen because it has to
It
happen
has to happen. Even the
because
way they like talked about that, they
well,
left that scene.
episode 3 at the end it says like Yoda says I have more training for you to commune with Kenobi, and then
And we saw that in the
and then
slice scene part 2.
huh?
Like in the beginning intro
Oh,
when they're
well,
doing all the
right,
flashback stuff.
right, and then so we understand that additional training is to preserve your consciousness and then project your become a Force ghost. Like that's just what that training was. And so my question is, did he start that training at any point? Because at this point, it seems like Kenobi cut himself off from the Force. Like he hasn't
Yeah.
trained. He has. So I wonder if he learned it early on, right away, and then like he communed with Kenobi or communed with Qui-Gon at some point, and then he got unbalanced and he stopped using the Force, and then he just got cut off from communing with Qui-Gon,
Yeah.
or if he has yet to have that training.
I think I think he has yet to have the training because I think the he doesn't want to be too obvious, and now that like there's something else out there trying to hunt and kill Jedi still. I think he was probably too afraid right away to try to connect to the Force that intensely to potentially notify people that the Jedi are still out
Right.
there. Like, you know what I
Because
mean? So like,
it seems like he agrees that the Jedi leave, like their compassion leaves a trail. And it's like
yes,
he's not even willing to do anything because he doesn't help anyone in
yeah.
any way. And so it seems like that's just because from the cafe scene, he's like the moment a Jedi does something, rumors spread, and then that's how we find him.
Well,
And so like
and we
clearly
see
he
that
hasn't
too
done
right away
anything.
because he didn't help that guy with that other half of the portion. I assume that the first thing he was gonna do is why he's sitting in that car is hand that guy the other half of the portion, and he doesn't do that. So we know that he's trying to fit in so discreetly that he doesn't even want people to know that he is like it almost seems like the first thing he gave to anyone in a long time was Luke's toy.
Right.
Like that's the first time he's actually done something giving in a while, it seemed like. So yeah, I think he's just trying to completely separate himself from the Force, and then he got a flashback and it kind of rattled him, and yeah,
I don't know.
he
I
pre-
just want to know if he's had the training yet, the additional training, or if he still has to do it, or if he started it and never finished it, and
yeah.
what his relationship is with the Force at this
I think we'll get
moment.
that. I think we'll get like why he is so separated from the Force, and we'll probably get more of an explanation on like what they're doing and why.
Well, I thought we were gonna get a bunch of flashbacks, but
Well, like
we
you said
haven't.
though, we're gonna get a lot more, I think. And I liked how we got the flashback in the beginning was just right away instead of like I don't want like a bantha tank flashback situation like Boba. You know what I mean? In this show. I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
if you do,
Doesn't
but
doesn't matter to me
I
how they
don't
do it.
really want every time I fall asleep we just get a flashback. Because we've seen Kenobi, so it's like what I guess the flashback would be from when he first landed on Tatooine. But
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
So something that I was thinking about though about Kenobi's mindset is so he's very in a very like sorrowful, like
Dark
depressed,
place.
dark place, sad place. I was thinking how um, Luke in Episode 8 was supposed to have the same idea, and I feel like even though Luke's state of mind in Episode 8 is completely like the reason behind it is completely different than Kenobi's,
Yeah.
like I feel like if they took Luke's depression and hurt and portrayed it more like they did here with Kenobi, Episode 8 would have been a lot better because they kind of like made his depression more like he's just kind of ignoring it. He's just kind of annoyed by Ray, and he didn't seem depressed. He was just seemed very annoyed and not taking things seriously in a sense. And they kind of
Hmm.
made it like a more comedic in a sense. But like if
Yeah.
they really made those scenes with Luke like they are portraying Kenobi here, I think the audience would have enjoyed Episode 8 better. Fans would have enjoyed it better. I don't know.
Agreed. No, no, I can get behind that. I think I don't know if you watched that was it day 2 of ICCC con that I did? You should go watch it because I interview a host of a podcast called Back of the Cereal Box, and he talked about how he thinks episode 8 is his favorite Star Wars movie and why. And a lot had to do with his view of Luke and how a lot of people hate that version of Luke. But he said the reason is like for him personally, he could relate to it because he's been in that state where he relied on someone so much, and that he felt like he failed them to the point where he couldn't do anything. Like he was just shut down. He was just locked away. He couldn't do anything. And he says so he could relate to that version of Luke. And after hearing his explanation of it, that was the first time I've ever heard anyone talk about Episode 8 and kind of sway me a little bit. And then I went back and watched it.
And they're like, nope, sorry, I didn't like it.
It doesn't work. But it makes me view Luke a little bit better. But then there's other things like Ryan Johnson. But yeah.
Like, okay, this is an episode 8.
No, it isn't.
podcast.
But
We said a lot
Jeremiah, I
about
think you
that.
should go watch that. And if you guys haven't seen those yet on YouTube too, go watch those ICCC vlog videos. They're really good. But yeah, Jeremiah, you should at least go watch that part. I think you would enjoy his explanation. And go check out Back of the Cereal Box. They're a pretty cool podcast.
All right. Well, anyway, after this dream sequence, and then he cries out to Qui-Gon. Nothing happens. The next day is when he goes to the cliff and looks at the homestead, and we get the scene from the trailer where he just is watching them. Luke runs away and climbs up on the thing and pretends to do a pod race. And
Uncle Owen.
I wish they had pod racing in this episode. That would have been so cool. Even if it was just like in a distance, like you just see like pod races go by in a race, like.
And that's why he was pretending.
I know it got outlawed technically in the galaxy. That's why it's not around. But I wish they still had it. But
I think that would have been cool to see why Luke was doing it, is if he like they flew by and then he was pretending. Like that would have been cool.
Right. But then instead of just giving him to it in the daylight, like in person, he goes in the middle of the night and just kind of sets it outside on some stuff for the kid. And that's it. And then he leaves. And then after this, as he's on his way back home, that other Jedi finds Kenobi in the desert. Mm-hmm. And like, I thought that was you. I knew you. Like, I need help. Like, what are we gonna do? So you see his name is Nari, Nari. So that's his name. Just some random Jedi. And he's like,
R.I.P.
I just need some help. Like, what are we gonna do? And at first he's like, I'm not Kenobi. I'm Ben. Like, blah blah blah. But then kind of gives in. He's like, the best thing you can do is just take your lightsaber, bury it in a desert, and just live a normal life. And Nari did not like that. He's like, what happened to you? Blah, blah, blah. And that's the end of that scene. And then this is where there's a pivot point in the show. So before we do that pivot point, unless you have any other comments about that scene.
Nope. Like, the biggest thing is the whole lightsaber situation.
Right.
Like,
I wish I could have saw the saber better, like what it looked like.
Yeah, I could pause it.
No, it's very dark and you barely see anything.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is when he was like, he gave in to him and was like, hey, go run away. Go hide that thing. Don't be a Jedi. Hide forever. There's no hope. The age of the Jedi are dead. Like, it was a pretty intense moment, and it also showed you how much that Obi-Wan is fully disconnected from the Force, to the point where he's not trying to like help a Jedi who just so happened to crash on Tatooine, and it's all because he wants to save Luke. But yeah.
Right. But yeah. Well, before we go any further, this would be a good opportunity to talk about our sponsor for today's episode, Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea, a longtime sponsor of the show. And if anyone out there that's listening to us for the first time, they have the best coffee in the world, apparently, right? Drew, you can attest.
Yeah.
You're a big coffee dude. And so let's hear a little commercial that we came up with. And you can find out how you can get some coffee beans or tea at a discounted price. So let's listen to that.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code EMPIRERADIO, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Go check it out.
Coffee and tea. All right. So now this is where we get a big transition in the episode, which we thought this was going to happen, but we didn't know for sure. It was all speculation. And we transitioned from some crappy desert to Alderaan. And boy,
that's amazing.
Like, we don't get a lot of Alderaan. We have at the end of episode 3 when Leia is there with Bail and Breha, whatever the mom's name is.
Yeah.
And we see the planet in episode 4, and that's all about, we see for a few seconds and then it's obliterated. But yes, I guess I didn't remember. I can't just think of from episode 3 like what it looked like, but like I knew there was a city and then mountains around. And so right when I saw this, I'm like, this is Alderaan. We're gonna see little Leia. There's no way they're not gonna show us Leia.
Yeah, like why would we go there and not see Leia? Wouldn't make any sense.
So let me ask you this, because we see at this opening scene, then a few other times throughout the episode when they go around through the city. What did you think of how the city looked as it is in a Star Wars universe?
All right, let me look at it right now. I'll pull it up.
Because there's one later on when they go to get her cousins or whatever, and then after that, like when she's like waving to people, you see more of the city there.
I honestly don't recall.
So you didn't have any like reaction to like the city itself, like?
No, it kind of looked like Coruscant a little bit, but like more like Naboo feeling. It has like for me, it has like a mixture of Coruscant and Naboo, and kind of Lord of the Rings, honestly. Kind of has like a
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, because like
what?
They're like they kind of look like elven. Like they kind of look like it could be like an elven city, and then the mountains behind it reminds me of like Lord of the Rings and stuff. I don't know. It kind of has it. But yeah, like when I first saw it, I was like, "What is this pretty place?" Like it didn't take me out. Did it take you out of the moment?
It didn't take me out. I just felt like we've never seen anything in Star Wars that looked like this clean and like
Naboo.
Technologically. No, because that's still a lot of like stone structures. Everything's stone and limestone and paved roads.
It kind of looked way too like I said, it reminds me of Naboo and Alderaan had a baby, or Naboo and Coruscant had a baby, and it was Alderaan.
I don't know. I wouldn't even say Coruscant, because Coruscant's just garbage. Like it's very
but it's very like building. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like it's very nice buildings.
I felt it was more of like what a lot of like futuristic space movies and shows have. Like it's very like, I don't know. It just felt like it was too clean and too
like Halo feeling kind of thing.
I've never seen Halo, or like, so I don't know. We're watching
Star Trek or something.
I don't know. I just felt the aesthetic just didn't fit for me.
Yeah.
But I was kind of thinking that they did this to make a larger contrast between where Luke lives and where Leia lives, like to make it, because like they could have done it on Naboo, like something similar to Naboo, and it would have been obviously a lot more better than what Luke has,
But this is like
infinitely like a wider chasm between the two, and so like, I
this
think
makes
that's why they chose to do that. So like I
Tatooine.
can,
Luke got screwed over, like you
yeah,
said.
like I said, Luke got the poop end of the stick on this one. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I think story wise it makes sense just because they want to show that contrast. I just think that the look and aesthetic does not really show, like even Canto Bight in episode 8, which is supposed to be this rich town full of rich people. There was still a lot of stone buildings and stone roads, and
Freaking Canto Bight.
hey, you can don't hate on the people of Canto Bight. Hate on the pointless story of Finn and Rose.
And also Broom Kid, but and the
Your broom
this
kid. You
side.
can't hate on yourself. So.
I can.
Okay, but yes,
I just have to see someone for it, but I
we
can.
go to Alderaan, and I'm super excited, and we see someone, a little girl or some little child getting dressed, and I'm like, okay.
we
Oh, okay. At first, I was like, okay, definitely we're gonna see Leia, but I was like, they're not showing her face. I'm like, there's a reason why they're not
you
showing
knew right
her
away.
face. I knew something was up when they weren't showing her face.
I had no idea. I just thought that's just her outfit.
And then the mom comes in and grabs the hand of the girl,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm like, okay, this is a fake. But I don't know. It was still a funny scene that Leia tricked her mom.
I was more like, they showed the door. I thought her dad was gonna come out. And I was like, oh,
That's what I thought too. That we were
I
gonna
was
see
like,
Bail right away.
No, it's her mom.
But so here's a question, because I don't know if this is what has to do with breaking the canon or continuity that you were mentioning, but something that I was thinking is in episode 6, Leia says that she has very few memories of her mother, and I always assumed that like her memories of her mother was of her adoptive mother when she was very young, and then her mom died, and that's why she didn't have any memories. But at 10 years old,
no, I think it's
at her intellectual level, like she can't have any memories of her when we get to episode 6.
No, I think it's talking about her mother.
Yeah,
Because
she
knows that she's adopted.
Right. But there's no way that a newborn baby remembers their mother.
There is if you're a Jedi.
First of all, she's not a Jedi.
Okay,
that's not how the Force works.
I don't know. Like, she is smart as frick, and I think if anyone could be able to do it, it would be Leia.
So I don't know. I just
and I mean, we don't know. Like, we've never lost our mother as an infant. Like, we don't know if there was like an imprint. You know how like
you can't understand anything when you're
that's
5 minutes old, and Leia didn't even see her mom. She got pulled out. Oh, she saw her for like half a second. Leia,
she saw her.
Like that's it.
Yeah, that's all she got.
That's not. You can't remember that. That kid doesn't even know what's going on.
But she can get like Force flashbacks or something.
That's not how the Force works, Drew.
Do we know that? We don't know that. What do you mean?
I'm telling you right now, that's not how it works. If you want me to text Dave Filoni and ask him, I can. But I'm just saying. The whole thing with her mother I don't understand it based on her words in episode 6.
But we know that it has nothing to do with this lady, though. We have to understand that. Like, that was definitely...
I don't know.
No, because Luke was saying the same thing.
Yeah, but...
So I think any continuity, like if there's anything that canon that messed up, it was George when he made episode 3. That was the messed up part.
What are you talking about?
He should have had them and Padme hang out a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like if any of this stuff was messed up, is because I feel like that was the mess up writing part.
Is that the continuity thing you were talking about earlier?
No, that is not what I'm saying.
You said it had to do with
people. Okay, so
Leia, right?
Continuity thing is people are saying it doesn't make sense why Obi-Wan would go save Leia and leave because or Yoda told Obi-Wan not to leave, to go watch over the boy.
To watch over
So
the boy. I never say he can't leave.
I know that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense, but people are literally
Okay,
complaining about
if
that.
they're going to be complaining
Like,
about this, what are they
that's
going to do when he fights Vader in a few episodes from now?
because
That's going to be
true.
what people are. There's a bigger argument for that being a
Yeah,
continuity issue
but
than
so people are
this.
saying like because they wanted a way for Obi-Wan to get off the planet without it being like that. Like maybe
Because I remember our
Luke
original
got stolen or something.
one of our original speculations was that the Grand Inquisitors came to Tatooine looking for Kenobi, and he left
So that they can
Tatooine so that
find
they would follow
Luke.
him and not find Luke. Like we thought that was a
Yeah,
possibility,
and I think
which could
that's
still happen. Like
true.
because he knows that if he leaves, like him being out and about, there's bigger chance of him being found, and if he can maybe draw the Inquisitors away from Tatooine, like that would be what he would want, but I don't know. I don't think it's a problem. Like I like that they're doing this with Leia. Like I think it's very smart. I think
I love it, but
and
that's what I'm saying. That's what people are complaining about online and stuff. Is like he left Luke to go help Leia. It's like,
but like
why
Bail
does that
Organa. Okay, we're
matter?
jumping to the end now. But Bail Organa's message to him, or
Yeah,
message to him, and then when he came in person, he's
yeah.
like, "You are the only one that
I
understands."
trust. No, he said you're the only one that I
No,
trust with my
I know,
daughter.
right? That he says it later, but he first says, "You're the only one that knows about her significance and like why she needs to be protected." And he's like, "She is just as important as Luke is." And like, yes, that is true. Like, I it makes sense why. I don't think it's a problem. Like people who are all hurt, like discombobulated about this, need to look at the story better because that just
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
And then a lot of people's other issues, like they don't understand the third Inquisitor, her powers, because she's supposed to be like more as like a mind reader, but they don't understand how she can turn it off and turn it on.
What are you talking about?
That's apparently her force powers is that she can read minds.
So what's the problem? Like what?
They don't understand how she couldn't figure out that Kenobi was right there.
Okay, whatever. That doesn't make sense at all.
I know.
You can read minds, but if you don't try and look at a person's
Yeah.
mind and read it, you're not gonna see it. And he was hiding the whole time, like
Yeah.
trying to stay out of whatever.
I'm just saying there's certain people on YouTube, I'm not gonna drop any names, but maybe you should find different Star Wars people to watch on YouTube than certain people. Because
Are you referring to a certain
I'm a
number
flirtist.
one,
Yes,
number one person?
maybe not.
He has problems with
Yeah.
this.
That's all from his mouth that I just mentioned. Just saying.
Whatever.
And if somehow he listens to this,
Let's collab.
I love you, but
we'll interview you on the
some of your
podcast.
things don't kind of make me mad sometimes. And we would love to talk to you about it on our podcast.
All right. Anyway, get back to the thing. Leia did a trick so she could run away. She runs out to the woods to go play, climbs a tree, blah, blah, blah. We introduced to her little droid, Lola, which is a cool droid.
Yes.
I'm kind of sad that it's RIP. Hopefully it gets fixed. But
I think it gets fixed. And if you guys don't know, Lola is on sale now. You can buy
Really?
her. They announced it today at Celebration.
Are you going to get one?
I don't think so.
I feel like they could do some fun things with
No,
that.
it like moves and stuff. Like it looks dope. I'm not saying it doesn't look cool. I'm more excited that Galaxy Edge now has this version of what's this of Chopper. So next time I go to Galaxy's Edge, I'm gonna get Chopper this size. I'm more excited for that.
Cool.
But yeah.
But she climbs a tree. The guards and her mother find her, bring her back, and she tries to trick her mom again by apologizing so she could steal the droid with a hug, but that didn't work.
She's like, I can feel you.
'Cause she got me too. She tricked me because I believed her. Oh, she is sorry. Okay.
Oh,
And
I
then she
didn't.
got
I
me.
knew exactly what she was
Oh
doing.
no,
This girl's sneaky.
she got me.
Oh, maybe it's because I have a kid. I feel like my kid would do something like that, and he's only 8 months old, and I already feel like he would do something like that.
Yep. And then we see as they enter in a guy watching from the distance. I'm like, okay, this is where the conflict starts.
This is where the fun begins.
And so we can kind of jump ahead, but I was watching one person react to this episode, and
Not
apparently,
me. How rude.
I did. No,
Oh.
sorry, I didn't watch yours, but I watched I watched your Andor trailer
Oh,
breakdown.
good. I hope
But
you liked it.
or reaction, not breakdown.
Reaction.
We'll be doing a breakdown.
We'll be doing that tomorrow.
Tomorrow after we do episode 2 breakdown. But the actor is the guy from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Wait,
One of the members. Like,
oh yeah, he's supposed to be
Flea.
nice.
Flea, is that his name? Like they said.
Yes.
So he's just some random musician that's like wanted to be in Star Wars. Like, what?
Well,
okay.
you know, Ice Cube's in the show, and Ice Cube's son's in the show.
This show, or is it?
No, it's in this show.
I thought it was a different show.
I know. I thought it was like Mando season 3, and then people were saying that he was gonna be a Mandalorian, but no, those were rumors. He's actually in this show. His title is still not listed,
Right.
but him and his son were at the premiere yesterday at Celebration, like doing interviews, because they did like a whole like carpet walk stuff too. It's kind of cool.
Interesting.
Which I really am mad I didn't go to Celebration now, but I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't realize. So which one is he? He's just part of that group.
I think the guy said his name is Flea. Whatever.
No, but is he the main guy?
The guy with the orange, the bald guy with the orange.
Who's the main guy? He looks so familiar to me. Is he just an actor, and that's why he looks?
No,
familiar?
that's what I'm saying. It's the guy from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I thought you meant he was like one of the henchmen's guys with.
No,
him.
I said the guy looking that watched.
Oh yeah.
Walk in.
Yeah, he looked familiar. That makes sense. Why? I think he's the drummer.
I couldn't tell you one Red Hot Chili Pepper song.
Yes, you could. If you heard it, you would know.
Maybe I heard, but at the top of my head, I couldn't tell you.
Oh yeah. That's okay.
Because I don't know anything about music. But anyway, after this scene, it goes back to Tatooine, and Kenobi's getting his Yopi again, and then we see the toy ship get thrown on the ground. It's like, stay away from the boy, blah blah blah. And
well, you get this intense scene.
So we finally get an answer to our speculation from our question that we had from the official trailer is what does Uncle Owen know or think is going on with whatever happened to Anakin? And he says Anakin is dead.
Yes.
And so,
and I think at this point, Kenobi thinks that he's dead as well.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think he thinks he's dead, and then once he sees Vader later on in the show, he's gonna realize that he's alive, and it's gonna make that intense, way more intense. Like it's gonna change it that moment.
But so he believes Anakin is dead, but we still don't know if he knows he turned to the dark side. Because I feel like he has to know that, though. Because why would he get mad at him for failing Anakin when every single Jedi was killed? 10,000 Jedi were killed, and there's only like a few left. Like, it's not Obi-Wan's fault that Anakin is dead.
That's a good point.
From his perspective.
I didn't think about that. But it's also maybe he knows that Obi-Wan, I think he knows that he went to the dark side. Yeah.
You do think that?
Yeah, I think Obi-Wan told him. Like, here's Anakin's son. I had to eliminate him because he turned into the dark side, and
so you think
why he's dead.
He knows or he thinks Kenobi killed Anakin.
I think he thinks Kenobi did it, which is another reason why he didn't trust Kenobi.
But it's weird because you don't see that animosity.
When he gave him Luke.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Owen
Maybe
and
it's
Brew, they're all happy. Like, oh, we got a kid. Look at the sunset.
mhm,
And like so something happened in the last 10 years where
yeah.
maybe Obi-Wan was too much of a helicopter. Was it a helicopter parent? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
When they're always hovering over the
Ba-
kids, like
or a backseat driver parent.
something like that, where
Like he gave
he was
him
too involved or
yeah.
something, and they had to fight, and then
Obi-Wan is the parent who wants to he's the guy that wants to have a kid, but he didn't have one, but he wants to still enjoy it and he wants to like put his opinion and he's just a family friend. You're like, all right, bro, you need to step back. I know you buy him diapers and formula every week, but at the same time, let us parent the way we want to parent. Yeah, so I think it's a relationship like that. Maybe it was too involved at a young age, and now they're like, all right, dude, chill. Don't give him any toys. We don't want him. And like the biggest line out of that thing too was like, he's like, you don't actually care about him. You want to know if he's showing,
which was an interesting
which means you want to
phraseology,
yes,
which is
you want to
interesting.
know if he's using the force and if you're going to train him. I thought that whole dynamic was so intense. That moment, I was like freaking out. It's such a good moment in this episode.
Yeah, I just like when he said, "Is he showing?" Like
Yes,
that's
I
just an
thought that was
interesting
so cool.
phraseology because it's super weird that like we see in Clone Wars, like there's like the arc when Cad Bane is like kidnapping force sensitive babies or whatever.
Mm.
Like you see a scene where like a baby is like literally force moving one of its toys like floating in front of him, and like,
Well, it's like
but
Grogu, you know.
or
This,
well, yeah, but he's like 50 years old. So,
yeah, but
but
I'm
like, but
saying
my point is, why isn't Luke and Leia doing these same like, and even Anakin? Like, yeah, Anakin was doing pod racing, which is like a thing, but it wasn't obvious to everyone else that he was force sensitive. And so it's like Anakin has the highest midi chlorian count ever, and
yeah,
Luke and Leia are supposed to have the same midi chlorian count, the same connection with the Force, and they're 10 years old and they haven't done it, but some baby
or
Rhodian
how Ray didn't
can
do
do
it,
it.
and then all of a sudden it awakened in her.
Okay, that's the whole different story where it has nothing to do with that. Which
I'm
we go
maybe
back, listen to our all of our
yeah.
other sequel trilogy stuff, and
I
that's
think maybe it is something similar though. Maybe like they have, they don't know what they have. They don't know how to tap into it. And it could be because they've been oppressed by Luke's uncle and aunt to not do anything. All you can do is work on the front farm and suck water out the ground during the harvest, which is such a weird concept. But you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I don't think that's how the Force works though. Like
well,
I don't know.
I don't
Like
know.
because like that's one of the things of how the Jedi track they find
Yes.
babies and little kids
Well,
is like the rumors like we talk about like
well, and
the people hear rumors, oh, we saw this kid move something, and
mhm.
then the rumors happen and the Jedi hear the rumors, or they just contact the Jedi Order directly and say, hey, my kid is
Well, it's either that or like uh who was it? It wasn't Obi-Wan, it was Qui-Gon said it to Anakin's mom in episode 1. She said if he was within the Republic, we would have known because essentially I think they would have found it in their blood as an infant and they keep track of it.
no,
So,
I don't know, but I don't think that's how they did it. I don't think they took blood samples of everyone born.
I think so.
No, because Ahsoka was found when she was 3.
Was she within the
Yeah, her planet is she shimmy, whatever that planet is that the
Mhm.
Grutas are on. Like, there was 3 years old when she was found.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I guess maybe not when you're born, but they would have found Anakin essentially.
Well, yeah, that's his point. But
Yeah.
I don't know. But then Leia, she's in Alderaan. She's like one of the main planets. And
Yeah, she doesn't really show any force
now
except her sassiness.
I'm gonna beg to differ on that, but we'll get to that scene later.
Ooh, really?
Yes. So anyway, well, she can continue on. So while they're having this argument, the fifth brother and the third sister, they come into town again and they start threatening people. We know there's a Jedi here. Tell us, blah blah blah. And so you can tell the fifth brother's just like, gosh, not this again. Like, this girl's so annoying. And then she's like, like he's just trying to say, the fifth brother has an opposite where he's like, if you give us information, you will get a reward. The third sister is like, if you don't tell us something, you're going to be punished.
Your hands will go first.
Right. So like they have opposite things. And so she is like more evil and more wicked when he's more wise and like, okay, we can be nice to people in a sense and they'll, help us out. Where she's kind of like, no, we got to force the like fear and then they'll give us information. And then so one lady's like, why are you even here? You have no jurisdiction out here in the Outer Rim, and then gets her hand cut off. So R.I.P. hand.
And it showed it burning on the ground too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Cool. So dope.
You could smell it too. That was just nice and fresh.
Mm-hmm.
But then Owen is looking at her the whole time, where everyone else is kind of looking straight ahead or looking down. Owen is watching her, and then she notices that, and then she's getting in his face and like, oh, you got a Jedi on your land and your farm, blah blah blah. And he's like, no, I kill vermin on my Jedi are vermin, and I kill vermin on my farm. And she's like, interesting, because she asks for his name, and then he says like, oh, you're a farmer. So it's like they have like the names of everyone and what they do, because she knew that he was a farmer. And so I thought that was interesting. And then she continues to threaten, and then the fifth brother steps in. That's enough. And then stops it. So this whole time, Kenobi is in the barn thing and scared that like Owen's gonna break. He's like, yeah, he's right there. Get him. Like, I thought that was like, obviously I knew that wasn't gonna happen, but
yeah,
I felt really bad for Obi-Wan because like he wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
But yes, so then the Grand Inquisitor, or not the Grand Inquisitor, the fifth brother takes the third sister to the side. It's like, you're too reckless. The Grand Inquisitor's right. Blah blah blah. And this is when he said, like, why do you want to find Kenobi so bad? He's like, because I'll get what I'm owed. So that's that scene. And then after that, we go back to Alderaan, and so we see Bail finally, because they go to a landing pad to see their family come. The other side of it was Organa, so it was Bail's brother, I think, was who he was talking to later on or something. Whatever, their last names are Organa, all of them. And so, man, he looks old, dude. Like, I understand that he as an actor, he aged, 20 years since we've seen him in the movies.
Yeah.
But like, I thought they were gonna try and give him some Just for Men and give him some no gray hair or something. Like
just
color. I was really surprised that they didn't try and de-age him in some way. Especially, okay, this is a little teaser for the Andor breakdown, but there's definitely a scene in there when they de-aged Cassian Andor to be a younger person. You can see it in the face. It's like CGI'd face or something. Like, why couldn't they do something like that with Bail here or Jimmy Smits? Like, they could have done a better job, because he looks frankly, he looks older in this than he did in Rogue One, and Rogue One takes place
after this,
9 years after this. So I don't know. I don't really care, because I think Bail is super cool, and he's even cooler here than we've seen him before.
Well, and he's such a good actor. I don't think it really matters, like,
right?
Whatsoever. We'll just look over.
And so earlier on, when we see Leia climb the tree for the first time, like, she's like watching ships leave, and she's like naming ships and whatever. And then when she arrives and sees Bail, he's like, "You find any good ships? See any good ships today?" And he's like, "Oh, if you saw that ship, maybe they're looking for pirates." He's like, "That's what I said." Like, I don't know. I think he's cool. And then Mom's like, "Don't support her. Don't egg her on," or whatever it was. So I like this is cool that Leia is kind of like has a good relationship with Bail and how Bail is kind of eggs her on to like let her be who she wants to be. Like,
she's more of a daddy's girl for sure.
right. And so because he's all about getting work done and do what's right, whereas the mom is like, we have to be prim and proper and we gotta like put on a show because Leia says like, all I do is wave at people. Like, I don't want to do that. But
like show face and
and so the family arrive and the cousin, she's like, "Hi, cousin," and he doesn't really care. And then later at like the party or whatever gathering,
we see C-3PO.
See him, and then we see another droid, YO. That's his name, the silver one that she thanks, and then
it's a female, but
has this interaction with her cousin.
Yes.
And how like, "Oh, you're not allowed to leave, Alderaan. I've seen a lot of things." And then she rips into him. He's like, first he's like, "Why do you say thank you like to a lower life form?" He's like, and she's like, "Well, then I don't have to speak proper to you because you're whatever." And so
she shot back so quick. I was like, "Damn, girl, get it!" Like, she's a beast.
Yeah, and so then he insults her. It's like, "You're not allowed to go anywhere. Like, I have more. I'm better because of that." And then she does a psychoanalysis of this guy. And like, but this is where I kind of feel maybe
there's some force in there.
Because like, I understand like it was implied that because she's watching, like I've seen this, like I've watched you, but like, so it's supposed to be an observation thing. But the way she was talking about was like she's looking into his mind.
Yes.
And I felt like, man, that's...
And the way Leia is in every single time we've ever seen her, she is very wise and she does analyze people's characters and stuff like that. And she's a very thoughtful person and she doesn't give a crap about anyone's opinion. If it's not right, it's not right. She doesn't care. But I think that's part of the Force, though. Her powers and what she does, a lot of that is analyzing and like you said, like I don't know if it is reading minds necessarily, but it has a lot to do with viewing a person and their purpose, and she can read the room really well, essentially. And I feel like that could be a Force tool,
right?
Like feeling like,
I think it's probably a combination of her observing things, but then it's almost like as she's looking into people's minds and studying people, like it's almost like her observations are elevated. I think they're confirmed by the Force, and that's why she's so confident with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel when I saw that scene, I'm like, she's definitely using the Force without.
That's why I thought she was so smart at such a young age. Meanwhile, her brother, on the other hand, is like sitting on a freaking.
I'm gonna do pod racing. And 9 years later, he's still playing with that stupid toy. Like...
Yeah, gosh, yeah, he got screwed over. But I feel like going back to what I said though, it seems like his environment did not influence his Force using besides flying, like
right.
his dad.
Right.
Which her environment is very political and very, you do need to look really good, but it also is good to stand up for what's right and stuff. And that's how she became the princess, like that's why she is in that role, and she is the smartest person at some point, and she becomes a senator and all that stuff because that's where she was raised and how she was able to do it. But she still has that innocent heart of she does want to escape and be free and wide open and stuff. And going back to that, like even when after that whole conversation, she had a one-on-one with her dad, and her dad's like, at the end of the day though, you still need to go and say sorry to your cousin. And then she said okay, but he knew right away that she went and ran off to the woods again.
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, by the way, your daughter left. She's in the woods, probably around here."
Right. So, since so this little quick thing. So while Leia is insulting her cousin in a sense, Bail and her mom like kind of see this from happening from a distance, and then that's when they have to confront her with this pep talk thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the whole scene with when it was just Bail and Leia, and how he's encouraged, like, you're going to be the best senator ever. Like, you're so different, but that's why you're going to be the best, and you're going to make changes. And he was saying like how at your age, like I had no potential in a sense, and I thought it was really interesting that he says that he want to go and chase Purgle. Do you know what the Purgle are?
Mm-mm.
It's the space whales from Rebels.
Oh,
So I thought these Purgle things were more of like a mystery. Like these are like never seen before until Rebels, the Ghost Crew found him, type of
yeah,
thing. But like he knew about him. He's like, yeah, I wanted to chase after him. Like, oh, cool. So space whales are hanging around Alderaan apparently,
yeah. Maybe
even
that's
though
where they're from.
they can go into light hyperspace, and so I guess they can be anywhere. But I thought that was a little cool thing that they said.
Mm.
And I really liked how Leia's like, I'm not even a real Organa. And then Bale gets down on one. He's like, you are everything there is to be a Organa, blah, blah, blah. So,
I like that we know that she knows
right,
because Luke knows.
right.
Luke knows that that's Uncle Owen and Amber. It's such a weird concept.
What?
You ever thought about that? Like, why do they know that that's not their parents? Like, why wouldn't you just not say anything? Like, it doesn't matter. There's no way you can go back and trace. Like, your mom is dead,
Well, it's
and
just,
your dad is
well, one, you can't,
there.
in the case of Leia, there's no way you can hide that.
True.
Like, it's
For
got to
Leia,
come up.
sure. For Leia, sure.
Luke, it's like, well,
But Luke,
it's
like,
just, it's already family though. They're,
but he doesn't know that. That could just be mom and dad.
well, yeah, but when,
You know what I mean? Like, if let's say, like, if me and Stephanie, God forbid, knock on wood, if something happens to us and we die right now, and Miles goes into the hands of his his aunt and uncle, okay, never mind, I take that back. I would want him to know who his real parents are.
yeah,
Okay, I lied. Never
that's
mind.
different. But
Yeah.
like, but then even then, it's just still they're still family, and so it's like there's no reason to lie about your familyhood. Like,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true. But at the same time, wouldn't you? Because
and technically
okay,
they're not family either. They're
exactly.
step uncle.
Half family. But at some point, Luke knows that his dad fought in the Clone Wars and all that stuff. He says in the New Hope that my dad was a pilot and he fought in
no,
the Clone Wars.
no, I thought it
Yes.
was. I thought Obi-Wan says, "I fought with your dad in the Clone Wars," and then Luke's like, "You fought with my dad in the Clone Wars," implying like he never heard that. I I have to go watch that
Really?
scene again, but
I'm gonna pull it up right now.
oh, don't pull it up. That doesn't matter.
Well, we can
But
keep
like,
talking.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
So anyway, yes. Either way, Luke got the poop end of the stick.
Yeah, either way, Luke got screwed over.
But yeah, so then
But
Leia,
they had to hide Luke in plain. They had to hide Luke though.
yeah. So anyway, Leia runs off into the woods again, and that guy is waiting for her at the tree that she was climbing. She's like, "Who are you? Like, why are you here?" And then these other thugs come by, mercenaries, whatever you want to call them. First of all, they had her surrounded right at the start. There's no way she should have got away right at the beginning. But even then, those other two people were running into stuff. Like, come on. Like, there's one, like, when she slides underneath the thing.
Dude, so
like,
dope.
The guy could have
Yeah,
just, like,
that
stepped
was
over the
yeah.
branch.
That was like one thing, or like how the girl fell over the tree.
or ran into them. Like, just duck your
Yeah,
head. Like,
that was like that was like one of the only things that kind of took me out of it was this whole scene. It's like, how can you guys not catch this little girl? Like, she's not running fast. She's
I
10
know.
years old.
I know. Like when it was a
Like
straight path, when there was
yeah,
nothing
I'm
but
like,
like,
you all can't run that fast. Like,
or
what
like
the heck?
even turn a blaster to stun. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
that was like the only thing that was kind of cheesy. But I forget the name of that alien species, the green lady, the ponytail.
No,
But
I
there's this Sith Lord in the EU that is her species. And I thought it was really cool that they added that in there.
oh, yeah, I didn't really pay attention to. I should probably go. I gotta watch this episode again, even though I've already watched it twice. But anyway, the guards go out to find her, and then one of the guards sees her, and she's like, "I need help, 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 help!" And then he gets shot. I'm like, "Dang it!"
Mm-hmm.
But then they capture Leia, put a bag over her head. Classic. When you kidnap someone, you gotta put a bag over their head. And then right when the bag goes over the head, it goes to black, and it jumps to Obi-Wan, and then you hear like the beeping, and he's like, "Oh crap, what's this?" And it's
Red. Oh no, it's the
no.
phone.
So he goes to open up his chest, and there's like a little, I don't even know what they're called, little radio thing, and Bale and his wife call him like, "She's been taken. We need your help." Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Nope. My concern is to the boy. Find a mercenary. I'm done." Blah blah blah. Then hangs up. Like, dang it. Like, okay. And so, I have something in my notes that says Jedi dead. I don't know what that means. Oh, they go back into town, and that other Jedi is dead, hanging from the.
Yeah, which is weird because like we got the point of view in the trailer and stuff. We just thought he got hung, like someone got hung there, but it was like he was like tied up. I thought we were
Tied
gonna
up.
see like a noose around his neck or something.
No, but
And dude, because I feel like if we would have saw a noose though, we could have got into the theory of what if that Jedi was so depressed.
that would have happened. That no, that would
Wouldn't
have been
that
terrible.
that
That's
would have been?
stupid.
I
Like, he
mean,
killed himself in the middle of the town because he's on the run. No,
well, maybe to save Anakin or Obi-Wan from the Inquisitors,
no.
so they would leave.
It would have been the
He
only way that would have
sacrificed
happened
himself.
if the town found him and brought him to the town square, and then the third sister came out and killed him. Like, that would have been a better scene. But
True. Oh wait, meanwhile, Obi-Wan said to Luke
gosh, I told you
that
not to look this up.
he fought in the Clone Wars and then with me. And then Luke said, "You fought in the Clone Wars." And then he said, "Yes, I fought in the Clone Wars alongside your father." And then he said, "Oh, I wish I knew him." Because he said, "I was once a Jedi Knight, the same as your father." So Luke knows that his dad is a Jedi.
No, he doesn't. Not
That's what
until
it
that
says.
moment. Not until that moment. There's nothing that says that Luke knew
Yeah,
that.
but he didn't question what is a Jedi or like any of that.
Luke didn't. I don't think Luke even knew what a Jedi was until that moment.
That's true. It's just weird that he didn't ask what a Jedi was. That
Like,
should
if
be
he
your
knew
next
that his dad
question.
was a Jedi, like, he would have known that he probably could have been Force sensitive.
But what for me was crazy is like he asked more. He was more intrigued by the word Clone Wars than he was intrigued by the word Jedi.
Right, because that's the whole point. That the Jedi are supposed to be forgotten and eliminated from the thing, and no one's supposed to know that they exist.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
And so, like, at that point, like, people forgot about the Clone Wars, like what exactly it was about and what happened.
Yeah, because that's
So,
how powerful the Empire was over everyone and brainwashed essentially the whole galaxy.
yeah. So,
Which is
Jedi is
why,
dead, and then it goes back to Kenobi going back to his house, and that's when the scanner pops up and it's red, not
Mhm.
blue. It was blue or green before, and then so he's like, "Oh crap!" He's looking up and he's know someone's there. And now,
It was blue before, and now it's red.
and so when you saw a hooded cloaked person, did you think it was Bale right away, or do you think it was someone else?
I don't remember. I think I assumed it was Bale. I didn't assume it was a bad guy.
Right. I didn't think it was a bad guy, but I didn't think it was Bale at all. Like I didn't even know who it was. I thought it was. They made it look like it was a Jedi. So I was like,
Yeah.
would there have been a Jedi that came out here that was not like some Padawan leftover like the other guy, but was someone more prominent? But then it was Bale. We find out right away. And then, so then he convinces Obi-Wan, or he persuades him in the moment to, like, you know, one last fight or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, could they track the ship to Daiyu, which is the planet that we see from the trailer.
Yeah. The Tokyo looking planet.
Yep. And so it's kind of left on a cliffhanger at that moment. We don't know what his decision is. Then it goes back to Leia and the droid. She had the droid on her. Like, come on, pat her down. If she has anything in her pockets, take them. Like, why did they leave that in
kid? There? Like, why would you
still
pat down a little kid?
Still, like, you're also kidnapping a princess. Like, maybe she has a tracker on her or something. Like, but anyway, the droid tries to cut her ropes, but RIP, they come in and take it and smash it.
It's not RIP forever. They wouldn't make a toy if it was just a little thing.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. And then it goes to, they call the third sister, and we see that her plan is, she knew Kenobi was close friends and worked with Bail Organa.
Yep.
If Bail Organa's daughter is kidnapped, that's going to draw him out. Great plan. Obviously it works, because the next scene, Obi-Wan goes to the
middle of the desert where he told the guy to bury his lightsabers.
Gets his lightsabers, both lightsabers, Anakin's and his.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We only, at the end of this thing, we only see him with one, but I wonder if he has both of them on him.
I'm pretty sure he probably has both.
If we see Obi-Wan fight with two sabers,
that'd be fire.
That'd be super cool.
Or Darth Vader's like, give me my lightsaber back.
I don't think he'd say that.
No.
Because he doesn't want any connections with Anakin.
No, he would grab it and just throw it backwards.
Oh, God. Okay. Now, he could. If he was fighting with both sabers, and then, like,
somehow
he loses the one and he picks it up, I could see him do it, like, not like jokingly, but he could just do it like that. Like, I wouldn't be mad. Like, it'd be kind of it wouldn't be meant to be funny, but I'd be like, I see what you're doing there.
I'm
Deborah
getting
Cho,
mad just thinking about it right
Deborah
now.
Chow or Cho? Chow or Cho? I think Chow. Deborah Chow. But I see what you did there. But anyway, Obi-Wan goes to the airfields or whatever. I think Bale gave him, like, enough money, like what he had, like a little green credit or something. Like, if here's a free pass, like,
it's
whatever.
A credit card.
Like, this is your
American
free pass.
Express card.
And she's like, the lady at things like, well, are you coming? And he looks like and gives her the thing. And I can't believe he showed his saber so blatantly.
Bro, so obvious.
Like, come on. You just saw these Inquisitors threaten the whole community.
Yeah. Well, and
like put it like in your pocket or something.
Unless it happens in episode 2. If you go to the watch screen, the image is Vader. Definitely Vader. About? If you go to the screen, like, oh, I'm going to go watch episode 2.
Yeah.
It literally is a flat planet, Vader's lightsaber going down, and Obi-Wan across from him. So you see, like, you can pull it up. If you pull up
Disney, the thumbnail on Disney Plus for episode 2?
No, not for episode 2. It's like just in the window if you click on the Kenobi page.
Oh, like on the top banner?
Yeah, the top banner is literally like an image of Vader's hand across with the lightsaber attached, and then Obi-Wan grabbing his lightsaber. Oh. So I'm like, I mean, we know what's gonna happen, but damn, y'all already showing us this. Like, kind of crazy. Like you're gonna pick a different picture, but I don't know.
So that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan leaves to go rescue Princess Leia. It's a great story. We had this theory that this could have happened. And a lot of people had this idea, so I think it's a great story.
I like it a lot. I think it's awesome.
Quick, we haven't seen episode 2 yet, and
Nope.
What the future, we don't obviously haven't seen the rest of the show. So
Also, episode 2 is only 42 minutes.
My theory is this: next episode, there's going to be conflict where he reveals himself, or there's a confrontation between him and the third sister at least, and we know that the fifth brother is on Dayu as well, and so he's going to be made known. They're going to see each other. They're going to, I don't know if they're going to lightsaber duel at all at that moment or what, but we see in the official trailer where he escapes on like a transport, and then she's like, we're not gonna give up, we're gonna find you, or whatever it was, like when she's going away. So I think that happens at the end of next episode, and then third episode he's gonna get captured, and then fourth episode is when we're gonna see Vader at the Inquisitorious facility.
And then what? There's only one episode after that.
No, there's 6 episodes. So
yeah, one after.
I think third episode he's gonna get captured. Fourth episode we're gonna see Vader, and so Vader is gonna be in the last 3 episodes, 4, 5, and 6. But we see in the trailer also that Obi-Wan is back on Tatooine where he's shooting a blaster at someone because he's in sand, like on a sand barge thing or something. Like, so he's goes back to Tatooine at some point. And he's fighting troopers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. In this image, it looks like he's on Tatooine. Now, it could just be like an art kind of thing. It could not be accurate, but it is kind of weird. I don't know. Chat, I don't know if this bothers you guys, but it bothers me that we see that as the image.
The thumbnail for the next episode?
No, it's not the thumbnail. It's
what
like
are you talking about now?
The
banner?
Oh. Because it looks like he's on Tatooine. And if Vader goes to Tatooine...
That's not going to happen.
Why wouldn't he just... No, I'm just saying, if he did, why wouldn't he go and just kill the homestead? Like, you know what I mean? So I know he's not on...
He's just going to randomly go there?
Yeah.
No. Vader's got some more important things to worry about than some janky...
No, I don't think he's on... I don't think they're on Tatooine. I think it could just be an art piece thing, but...
Step brother and his wife, like, he doesn't care. But any final predictions?
No, not really. I think my biggest prediction was that youngling was the Inquisitor, the third Inquisitor, or the third sister. That's my only prediction that I have, really. Yeah. And I'm excited for episode 2. I know you guys loved it and you guys liked it, and I appreciate the chat for not spoiling that for us, and I'm excited to watch it.
All right. So anyway, like we do sometimes, we're gonna rate this. How many Eopies out of 10?
Eopies
out of 10. How many are you gonna give this episode?
I'm gonna give it 9.5 poops, because you know the Eopie pooped.
What?
In episode 1, and Jar Jar stepped on it.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. I'm gonna give this a solid 10 out of 10 Eopies. Full on. This is perfect in every way.
I know that there's gonna be more that I can't fully dive in yet, but
you can still have more than one episode that's perfect. It's not like only one is perfect and everything has to be less.
Well, I'm giving 9.5 because the chasing, the little run around, it took me out of it a little bit, and that was it.
Leia's force sensitive. She got away.
True. Maybe she was force running.
Force running.
Maybe that's why.
That'd be funny.
And like in the Boba Fett show, like their speeders they just looked slow. They weren't actually that slow. They just looked, and so that visually we saw her running slow, but she was actually force running the whole time. And
so like so we see force running once, and that's in episode 1, and they disappear. They're just like boom, they're gone. So what if
like the Flash?
What if it's like, they're able to go that fast because they're that strong with the force, but if someone has like one midichlorian in their system, like their force run is just them being like the fastest runner like around. So it's like they're not really actually that fast. They're just using the force to force run, but they're going like 5
Hey
miles an
man,
hour faster than
hey, I
everybody
would
else.
take it though.
That'd
I've
be
always said
funny.
if I had one superpower, I wouldn't mind like the Flash because
I
you
know.
could go.
Teleportation. That's the
Oh,
most
teleportation is
practical.
pretty
That
cool,
would be the
but
best thing ever.
but I feel like running is the same. Like I
No,
just run
that still
there,
takes time.
not
Then,
much.
then you got to build a suit
How
because you're gonna
fast the
get.
Flash? Oh yeah, that's
You
true.
build a
You're gonna
suit. You
get
gotta like.
you're gonna draft a little bit. You don't want to.
You gotta like. You know how many carbs you burn like that? Like
Well, that's the whole concept of the
you have,
Flash TV show is that he has to eat so much because
yeah, like, that's terrible. I gotta just teleport.
I would love to eat though. If I didn't gain weight eating, bro, come on. I would
Ooh,
go to your house every night, make me. I would pay for the ingredients for you to make me a deep dish every night, and that would just be like one of my
okay.
meals.
Okay.
Or I would just steal your recipe and I'd do it
You could
so fast.
you could eat your peanut butter nonstop.
I can run with it so that it heats up instead of actually using the oven.
Fun fact: I had a jar that recalled peanut butter.
I saw. Was it honey? One.
It is. So Jif makes a honey one because Cub doesn't have my Skippy honey one, and so this
Mm.
Jif honey one might be a little bit better. I don't know. Hot
I
take, but
currently
I have to throw. I ate some of it, and then I was
yeah.
recalled, and I'm like, dang it.
I
So
saw your Facebook post.
I was sad. I was like, I had
Yeah,
just opened it too.
really.
I had like 2 sandwiches with it. But anyway,
Yeah, no, the Skippy I had the Jif one right now and it says like roasted honey, roasted.
no, that's not the honey one.
Oh, really?
Because
Well,
Skippy makes a honey roasted one too, which is not the honey one.
yeah, it's not good. It's not
So
the
the
same.
Jif with honey is their equivalent of the Skippy with honey.
I think the Skippy is better though.
But you said you just had honey roasted, so it's not the same. It's not the
I
honey
have to
one.
check. If I have the honey one, it's not as good. Cuz sometimes, dude, okay, this has nothing to do with anything, you guys, but sometimes when you open the Skippy one and there's like that layer of honey oil on the top,
Yeah, I gotta mix. I hate that.
bro,
I gotta mix that in. But
bro, it's no, I mix it in, but it's just you know that it's like run. It's so good, bro. It's so good.
did you have to throw away a jar?
I don't have. So I get a lot of my groceries at Hy-Vee now, and they don't. They only have Jif, or they didn't have Skippy at the time because I think a lot of them got recalled and they pulled them off the
So you
shelf.
didn't have to
They,
throw away a Jif jar.
no, I only had or
So you can actually go for Jif. You can go to their website
mm-hmm,
and type in like the barcode and like
mm-hmm.
the serial number, all
You
that
mean
stuff.
Skippy?
No, Jif with the recall.
Oh, Jif has a recall, not Skippy.
That's why
Yeah.
we just were talking about that Jif had the
Oh yeah.
recall, and I had to get the Jif honey one because Skippy doesn't have Cub doesn't have the Skippy honey. But anyway, you can
Mm.
type in all the information from the jar, and so they're gonna send me a voucher for
Oh, that's nice.
a replacement.
Yeah, I know because Miles had formula that got recalled, and we had a lot of them. And he actually ate a whole one, which is surprising because kids actually have died from that recall. But luckily, Miles is fine.
What is he like? 50 pounds now at 8 months? What
Yeah,
is he at?
maybe he's at like 35 something.
Gosh.
But that might be why is because he got some recall and it didn't affect. It didn't just made him bigger. He's fully crawling now. It's crazy.
When do babies supposed to crawl?
Around now, but it's just weird. Like he's been army crawling, and then today he's like full on crawling, and he's chasing Ahsoka everywhere. It's so funny,
So is he like you're trying to catch him like the
bro.
mercenaries are
He's
trying
so
to catch
busy, bro.
Leia?
Yes,
He
I
like
feel like
slides
that.
underneath
He
things.
slids. Yep, yep.
All right. Well, anyway, that's
Wait
our
a
breakdown
yes.
of this episode. Now, for any new listeners, we do something fun at the end of every episode where we have fans who send in voicemails. And we'll
Correct.
talk about how you can do that later on. But sometimes we have like a bunch of them. Sometimes we have a few. So tonight we only have one, which is lucky and we've had this streak for like almost a year and a half where we've had at least one voicemail. And we have one from someone we earlier in the spring we were getting some from someone named Jedi Master. So before we play that, let's transition over to voicemail time.
It's voicemail time.
Yep. So back like I think like February or maybe January, middle of winter, we were getting a few voicemails from someone who called himself Jedi Master, and he has a question for us. And it's a good question. So let's listen to this. And it's a little like staticky, choppy at the beginning, but then it clears up and we get the question just fine. So let's listen to this.
Hey, Master. Hey, alrighty, this is Master. And what is your best dad joke? I can't really think of one right now, but there are some pretty great ones, and I love jokes and dad jokes. So if you want me to do a dad joke next week, I will do my research and I can get you one next week. But right now, I am not thinking of one. But what's your best dad joke? May the force be with you, always.
All right, Drew, before you say yours, I should say that when it comes to dad jokes, I feel like they're always like in the moment. And so it's like something that you hear once and you don't have it repeated. So I can't think of a dad joke because it's something that's in the moment and then you just
Oh, really?
It happens and you forget it. But
I have two good dad jokes.
All right.
But also, yes, send in one next week. And people in the chat are asking, do we need voicemails for tomorrow?
So just so we're clear, so we're not going to play voicemails until next week on Wednesday when we do the breakdown of episode 3 of Kenobi. Guys, to try and keep this, we're going to say the streak is still alive because we do it once a week, not every episode. And
I mean, but they're willing to use that challenge. Like Will's already dialing up.
No, I'm sorry. I already used my executive authority.
Okay,
we're gonna have like 50 recordings.
But either way, you guys send out your voicemails. Also, send your voicemail thoughts about the show, about any episodes too. Like we'll pay them on Wednesday, and you guys can just add them up. Either way, just send your voicemails.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter.
So Drew, go ahead.
We won't play them tomorrow, but
you have 2.
All right. So why does a duck have tail feathers?
Why?
To cover its butt quack.
I have the button up here, but I'm not gonna push it. No.
And then one of my dad's jokes, you guys have heard it. It is my Star Wars dad joke.
Oh, is this the? No, I know what you're gonna say.
What is the temperature inside of a tauntaun?
It's lukewarm.
Yeah, push the button. Yes. Yes. Jerica said push the button on the last joke too. Yes.
No, sorry. No. So yes. So thanks, Jedi Master. Yes, send in a voicemail and we'll play it next week on Wednesday. At that recording, and then we'll be good to go moving forward for voicemail. Remember, so this streak is still alive, but we're doing 1,000 recordings. So for the schedule for this weekend, so if you're listening to this, I'm hoping I'm going to have the audio version up right after this. I'm going to quick get that done, and the video version hopefully tomorrow. But tomorrow, Saturday the 28th, we're going to be doing our episode 2 breakdown, Kenobi episode 2, and then we're going to also right after that we're going to take a little break and then come back and we're going to do the Andor teaser trailer breakdown, which that's going to be a long that's going to be a hot minute discussion on that one. And then we're going to wait to see what happens on Sunday, or I guess tomorrow, what's announced tomorrow and what's going to be announced on Sunday. So we're expecting a Bad Batch season 2 trailer of some sort and a Visions trailer of some sort. We know that Jedi Survivor, the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, that has a trailer out. Drew and I discussed it, and it's probably not going to be the best one to have a discussion on this because it's such a quick cinematic trailer and there's not really a lot to discuss. But if they announce multiple video games, we'll do a this breakdown of multiple trailers in one episode. But it all depends on what they release. And then it all depends on what else they release. If there's a bunch of announcements, I know there's some show announcements that have come up. And so, but we'll see.
apparently there was a trailer for Mando season 3
That was
yesterday,
I
but it
heard that
was
it's like a crappy teaser. Like there's not. They just started filming, right?
no, I think
Oh,
it's oh,
I
I
can't
think
remember.
it's wrapped.
Oh, it's maybe right. Oh, they just started filming
Yeah,
Ahsoka.
because
Sorry.
they've started filming Ahsoka. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean the biggest thing we do have like that little announcement that like the Andor show has a release date, which is
Well, we'll
kind of
talk about that
crazy.
tomorrow
But
during the trailer breakdown.
yes,
And then there's other shows that have been announced, but there's not a lot of information. So we'll get back to it. So we're at least like 4 more episodes this weekend. We're gonna record probably.
yes. So whoa,
So 2 tomorrow Saturday, probably 2 Sunday night, and then Drew can't do anything on Mondays. So,
no,
but that's it. So that's our schedule for this weekend. Tons. I got a lot to edit this weekend,
yeah.
and so we're gonna try and go through things quick. But Drew, is there anything else you want to discuss?
Nope. If you guys are new listeners and you found us, make sure you go check out our YouTube channel and our Twitch channel, and all that can be found on our links bio. Just go to links with 2 eyes dot co/Empire Radio, and you can find all of our links to all of our fun stuff, Facebook, all that stuff. But make sure you join the Discord. We have a big Discord presence, and people talk and give you notifications when
Yeah.
shows are up early and
Yep.
stuff like that. So there's a lot of fun fans reaction over there, and sometimes I even jump in, but not
Yep.
as much as Jeremiah. Jeremiah's like lives in there, so go
Well,
check out our Discord. But also, there's a lot of stuff on our YouTube channel too. If you guys found this somewhere else, we have a lot of videos up. There's a couple vlogs up. A toy hunt will be dropping next week,
Ooh.
and an unboxing of the most expensive toy I've ever bought. So you want to make sure you tune in for that coming up.
And for any new listeners, so we do have the audio version here, but we do the live stream when we record every episode, and then I edit and put together a more higher quality video for YouTube of every episode. And so all of our podcast episodes are on YouTube every week, and everything we're doing this weekend will be up there as well. So check that out and subscribe there. We could use love.
with Kenobi, the watch parties, you can find
Watch
them on
parties
Twitch.
too.
But I also do all the watch parties, and they will be uploaded on YouTube as well. So if you missed it and you want to rewatch the episode, just rewatch it with me. See my reaction. And also I did reaction videos to that trailer, and I will do one to the gaming trailer too. I've not watched that yet. So
all right. And then also we're also part of needlesslynerdy.com, which is a network of stuff, of podcasts and whatnot that we're part of. And so if you love nerdy stuff, needlesslynerdy.com. You can find us as well as some other podcasts there, and they're great. And we're getting new people are rejoining and all that jazz. And so that's also in that links landing page as well. And so that's everything for us tonight. Drew, anything else before we go?
nope, that should be it for me.
All right. Well, you've been listening to another Kenobi-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.